Hello fellow brawlers, I'm KairosTime and it is time for the Brawl Stars Ramp Up Olympics. We're going to be putting all 43 brawlers through the box test, which is a test designed to see how easily a brawler can ramp up their damage in showdown. Basically, the goal is for brawlers to clear all 16 boxes as quickly as they can. They cannot use their supers unless they have a way to automatically charge it without attacking an enemy brawler, but they are allowed to use gadgets or star powers to give them any possible advantage. However, just like boxes are rarely clumped up in showdown, the brawlers may only attack groups or sets of boxes in the right order. The sets are 1 box, 2 boxes, 3 boxes, 4 boxes, back down to 3 boxes, 2 boxes, and then ending on a single final box. Now, it would take over a half an hour for me to show you the complete test for every single brawler, so I'm gonna have to cut some of the time short, but you can trust me that I did my absolute best in trying to get the best time for each brawler. We're gonna start with the worst brawlers in the box test, and then we're gonna work our way up to the best brawlers. What I want you to do is guess the top 3 brawlers for this test right now in the comment section below, and we'll see if you guys are right by the end of the video. But before we get into that, I wanted to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Raid Shadow Legends. You can trust me when I say that when it comes to turn-based battle RPGs, Raid Shadow Legends really does have it all. Awesome champions? Check. Tough bosses? Double check. Regular updates and years of content? Triple check. Now, there are over 500 different characters in the game that fill all sorts of roles like healers, tanks, assassins, or whatever you want to play, and you can choose up to 4 of them to put on your team, but I highly recommend not including Death Knight. He's pretty much just always trash, so sorry, Death Knight. I think my favorite part about Raid is collecting new champions and upgrading them to make them stronger in battle. There are so many different ways that you can customize your characters with various equipment, and I really love taking the time to learn which builds work best for various characters. Now, whether you've played Raid before or you're just getting into it, now is an excellent time to play. Raid recently got their biggest update ever with the release of the Doom Tower, a tower with 120 floors, several secret challenge rooms, and 12 hardcore bosses for you to face for a chance, of course, to get some awesome loot. And if you use my link to download the game, you'll get a head start in the game with an XP booster, some energy refills, an ancient shard, a void champion, and 50 gems for free. Plus, you'll also get Bulwark as part of the new update. All you've got to do is download the game for free on mobile or PC using my link below, then just go into the game and check your inbox in the next 30 days to claim your rewards. Once again, a huge thank you to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Starting off this Brawl Olympics test in dead last is Gene. It takes him 5 attacks to break that first box, and since he can't deal damage to multiple boxes at a time, it takes him a long time to complete this test. He's not allowed to use his Spirit Slap star power because he cannot attack an enemy to charge up his super, and due to his slow reload speed, Gene ends up taking 1 minute and 48 seconds to complete this test. Now, it's probably no surprise at all that Piper is the second worst brawler for this test. I had to set up this map specific for Piper in order to attack all 16 boxes at max distance, also while utilizing Bush to get that extra damage from her ambush star power, and she still really struggles. She's able to take out boxes with only 2 ammo after she gets that first power cube, but because of her super slow reload speed, it takes her 1 minute and 28 seconds to complete this challenge. Colette also really struggles for the same reasons as Piper. She can speed up her time by using her Nah-Uh gadget, but she saves most time by actually using this after she's already gathered some power cubes so that she can one-shot the boxes. Colette takes 1 minute 25 seconds to clear all of the boxes and takes 41st place. Now, B takes 40th place out of the 43 brawlers, but she could probably have done a little bit better if I had used her Rattled Hive gadget. However, I couldn't think of a good way to use her gadget without also dealing damage to other sets of boxes, so I just didn't use it. It took B 1 minute 15 seconds to finish this challenge. Up next is Lou, who ties with the next contestant for 38th place. Now, Lou's attacks don't deal a ton of damage, but at least some of his ammo can be used on a second box once the previous box's HP reaches 0. Now, both Lou and Crow complete this challenge in 1 minute and 10 seconds, and I even made sure to spread Crow's attacks across multiple boxes so that I could best utilize his poison damage as much as possible. Even still, Crow was never one to be able to really take out a ton of boxes quickly because his attacks don't deal splash damage. Now, you might be surprised to find out that even though Leon can take out his first box with 3 ammo, he only takes 30 37th place for this test. Now this is because he deals single target damage and his reload speed is very slow. Despite a quick head start, he takes an entire minute to complete this test. Now I was kind of surprised to see that Poco actually beat out Leon because it takes him 6 ammo to open up his first box. However, his attacks do deal splash damage, which means that after he eventually ramps up a little bit, he starts ramping up a lot faster. Poco is able to finish this test in 56.5 seconds and he takes 36th place. Up next we have Surge, who beats Poco by half a second and takes 35th place. This ramp up brawler might not be as good at ramping up in Showdown as you might think, even when you use the walls to help him deal as much damage as possible. He could have done better if he was upgraded to max level, but since attacking other brawlers is not allowed in this test, Surge takes 56 seconds to finish this test. Now Shelly's able to clear her first box with 3 quick ammo, which gives her a very solid advantage on maps where boxes are not bunched up. Spare shots from a single ammo can help with other boxes, but it still takes her 55 seconds to complete this test, so she only takes 34th place. Now unfortunately for 8-Bit, he falls just barely short on damage for the first 3 sets of boxes, which requires some additional time. Now I had to move the boxes really close to each other to make up for 8-Bit's really slow movement speed, so even though he clears boxes in 54.5 seconds, I actually think he's not as good at ramping up in Showdown as this would suggest. Now Nani's shots pack a serious punch, and it only takes 1 power cube for her to start 2-shotting the other boxes. Now if she could reload her ammo a little bit quicker, she'd be able to perform a little bit better than the 54.3 seconds that it takes for her to complete this test. Up next we have Max, who uses her run and gun star power to reload ammo faster than normal, but it still takes her 53.4 seconds to take out all 16 of the boxes, despite some of her fancy footwork. Max ends up taking 31st place for this Brawl Olympics event. Up next is Byron, who actually benefits from his newest injection star power to improve his time. It allows his attack to pierce through targets every 3.5 seconds, which gives him an advantage he did not have before. It takes him 52.2 seconds to clear all of the boxes, and he takes 30th place. Now, I had to put up some walls for Jessie so that she could only damage 1 set of boxes at a time. She requires 5 ammo to take out her first 3 boxes, but after that she ramps up pretty quickly because her shots can deal damage to 3 boxes at a time. She finishes this test in 50.3 seconds and takes 29th place. Now up next is Sandy, who takes a while to open up his first box, but who quickly ramps up after that because he's able to deal splash damage. Sandy takes 28th place and completes the box test in 48 seconds flat. Now Gale actually has a fairly quick reload speed, and since his attacks are wide, he can open up more than 1 box at a time. Because of this, he's able to take out all of the boxes in 47 seconds and takes 27th place. Next is Pam, who actually ties with the next brawler for 25th place and can clear all of the boxes in 45.5 seconds. Now Pam is one of the few brawlers that can clear the first box with only 2 ammo. She also has a very fast reload speed, but the fact that she can deal damage to only 1 target at a time prevents her from doing better in the box test. Now tying with Pam is Bull, despite needing 3 ammo to clear his first box. This is because his reload speed is even faster than Pam's, and in the end, according to this test, they're both equally good at ramping up in Showdown. Next is Spike, and honestly, I probably could have been a little bit better at perfectly aiming some of Spike's attacks to deal more than 3 projectiles worth of damage at a time, but I'm actually pretty happy with this run with Spike. I was able to clear all 16 boxes in 44.4 seconds, which means that Spike takes 24th place. Next is Sprout, who takes a while to start ramping up since it takes 5 ammo for it to clear the first 2 sets of boxes. But after the 3rd set of boxes, Sprout can clear the boxes with only 3 ammo, and it's able to clear all the boxes in 44.1 seconds and claim the 23rd place for this test. And with that, we are now about halfway through all of the brawlers. And that means that from this point on, the brawlers are better than average at ramping up, at least according to the box test. Let's see if you can still guess that number 1 spot for this event. Coming in 22nd place is Mortis, with the thanks of his survival shovel gadget that increases his reload speed. Now I typically wouldn't recommend using gadgets to help take out boxes faster, but it definitely helps Mortis get the job done if his only goal is digging graves for power cubes. He's able to clear all 16 boxes in 42.6 seconds. Now Tick is very slightly ahead of Mortis and can clear the boxes in 42.1 seconds thanks to his automatic reload star power. Although there's a bit of room for improvement due to the mine placements of his attack, Tick ends up taking 21st place for the box test. Up next is Rico, who gets help from his super bouncy star power and multi-ball launcher gadget. Rico is able to bounce his way through the boxes and clear them all in 41.5 seconds, which places him in 20th out of all of the brawlers. Mr. P is next and is able to clear the boxes in 40.9 seconds thanks to his ability to deal damage to more than 1 box at a time after his attack hits that first box. It's also really helpful that Mr. P is able to open up his first box with only 3 ammo. Now Penny takes a long time to open up her first box, but she's uniquely able to open up several boxes at once thanks to the splash damage that occurs after her attack hits a first target. It takes some good positioning, but Penny is able to take out all of the boxes in 39.9 seconds and take 18th place. Now Daryl is next, and he's also unique because he can take out an entire box with only 2 ammo. He also has a fast reload speed, which means that he's able to clear the boxes faster than most brawlers who deal single target damage. He even gets a little help from his recoiling rotator gadget, and also gets to use his super once because of the auto charging, and that in turn allows him to use his rolling reload star power near the end as an advantage as well. He finishes this test in 39.6 seconds and claims 17th place. Next is Jackie, who clears the boxes in 38.4 seconds and takes 16th place. She requires 4 ammo to clear the first 2 sets of boxes, but after that she really thrives because of her high damaging attack that deals splash damage. Next is Tara, and I wouldn't typically consider Tara as a brawler who's good in solo showdown, but she does a decent amount of splash damage. Plus, after she has that first power cube, she's able to get rid of the boxes with only 3 ammo, which makes her pretty good in this test. She's able to clear all 16 boxes in 35.4 seconds and takes 15th place. Now, out of all the brawlers in the game that deal single point damage with their attack, Colt scores the highest in this test thanks to his speed loader gadget and the fact that he can take out his first box with only 2 ammo. You might be curious to find out that his speed loader gadget is actually a better gadget for this test, even before his silver bullet gadget was recently nerfed. Colt clears the boxes in 34.3 seconds and takes 14th place. Now, Bo requires 3 ammo to take out the first 3 sets of boxes, but after that, he's able to take out entire sets of boxes with only 2 ammo. On maps where there are lots of boxes bunched up together, Bo is actually a pretty solid option and can take out all 16 boxes in 33.9 seconds, placing him in 13th for this test. Up next is a 2-way tie for 11th place featuring Barley and the next brawler. Barley uses his extra noxious star power to deal additional damage with his attacks, and that means that he only needs 3 ammo to take out his first box. His ability to deal high amounts of splash damage means that he does pretty well in this test, and he finishes in 33.2 seconds. Nita also finishes in 33.2 seconds. Now, it takes her 5 ammo to take out her first 2 sets of boxes, and she still needs 4 ammo to take out the 3rd set. However, because she deals splash damage and she has such a fast reload speed, she still does very well in this test and ties with Barley for 11th. We're down to the top 10, and starting that countdown is Amber, who finishes this test in 31 seconds. Now, she uses her Scorch and Siphon star power in combination with her Fire Starter gadget to increase her reload speed. The fact that Amber does so much splash damage is a big reason why she's one of the best at ramping up in Showdown. Now, Brock uses his Incendiary star power to take out the first box with 3 ammo, and then he uses his Rocket Fuel gadget to take out the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th sets of boxes with only 2 ammo. From that point on, he has enough power cubes to take out the rest of the sets with only 2 ammo, which allows him to claim 9th place at a time of 30.5 seconds. And in 8th place with a time of 28.7 seconds is Dynamite. He takes out the first 2 sets of boxes with only 3 ammo, but he can take out the rest of the sets with only 2 because of his high damaging attack, which is exactly why he's so good at ramping up in this test. Up next is a 2-way tie for 6th place at 28.2 seconds. Rosa does well because of her splash attacks with a high reload speed. She does require 4 ammo to take out the first box, but it's pretty much smooth sailing after that for Rosa. And tying with Rosa for 6th is Ems with the help of her Bad Karma star power. Now, it does require some careful positioning to deal damage 3 times with each attack, but doing so allows her to do incredibly well in this test. In fact, Ems is able to take out the last 2 sets of boxes with only 1 ammo each. Next, we have Frank, who takes 5th place because of his high damaging attack, fast reload speed, and ability to deal splash damage. Even though he needs 4 ammo to take out the first 2 sets of boxes, Frank is able to clear all 16 boxes in 27.8 seconds, which is very impressive. BB is in pretty much the same boat as Frank, except that she can 3-shot the boxes after she only has 1 power cube. Also, she can move while she waits for her next attack to load up, which is really helpful. She's able to clear the box test in 26.5 seconds, which means that she takes 4th place. And with that, we are down to the final 3 brawlers, the best at the box test and arguably the best at ramping up in damage in Showdown. Who do you think is going to win between El Primo, Edgar, and Carl? Let's see if you guessed correctly. Sorry if you guessed Carl as the best, because he's actually in 3rd. He gets the help from the walls so that he can attack super quickly, and I even tried to use his heat ejector gadget for some additional damage, but it really didn't even help. Carl clears all of the boxes in 23.8 seconds, and El Primo actually takes 2nd place. In fact, El Primo's reload speed is so fast that I had to line up the boxes differently in order to utilize his ammo as quickly as possible. He's able to clear all of the boxes in 23.1 seconds, making him slightly better than Carl in the box test. And that means that the best brawler for the box test, and arguably the best brawler for ramping up in Showdown, is Edgar. Edgar really has it all when it comes to the box test. A high damaging attack, a super fast reload speed, the ability to deal splash damage, and then of course his Let's Fly gadget, auto-charging super paired with his hard landing star power, which allows him to squeeze just a little bit more damage in there. He clears all of the boxes in 19.9 seconds and is truly the best when it comes to clearing boxes as quickly as possible. But maybe there's another brawler that you think does a better job at ramping up in solo Showdown than Edgar does. If you think there's a brawler better than Edgar in Showdown, then let me know in the comment section below. And of course, feel free to make a suggestion if there are other Brawl Olympics that you would like to see, or maybe even if you'd like a previous one to be updated. Either way, make sure you subscribe for more quality Brawl Stars content. Don't forget to use code Kairos in the Brawl Stars shop to support this channel. And for now, this is KairosTime ticking by, and we will see you in Brawl Stars.